Hi, my name is Atif and welcome to 29th part of Real Estate App Development Series. In this part, we will continue implementing the logic to show the property details. So, let's start by opening the project in Android Studio and let's add the click listener on toolbar favorite button to add the property to favorite or to remove the property from favorite. We will do that at the end of the onCreate function. Binding dot toolbar favorite button dot set on click listener new view dot on click listener. First of all, we need to check if the property is added to favorite or not. For that, we have created a variable of type boolean in class level with name favorite, which we have initialized in the function with name check is favorite. If favorite, this condition will be called if the property is already in the favorite. In that case, we will remove it from the favorite using myUtils remove from favorite. As a first parameter, pass the context, that is property details activity dot this, and as a second parameter, pass the property ID. This is the function that we have already created in myUtils class. Now we need to create an else statement that will be called if the property is not in favor. So in that case, we will add it to favorite using myUtils dot add to favorite. As a first parameter, pass the context, and as a second parameter, pass the property ID. We have also created that function in myUtils class in one of previous videos. Okay, now the next step is to add the click listener on toolbar delete button that will be used to delete the property. So let's add click listener on the onCreate function. Binding dot toolbar delete button dot set on click listener new view dot on click listener. Before deleting the property, we will show a confirmation dialog. For that, we will use the material alert dialog builder. Name it as material alert dialog builder equal to new material alert dialog builder. This will require a parameter of type context that will be property detail activity dot this. Now we will set the title of this dialog using dot set title. Title will be delete property. Similarly, we also need to set the message for this dialog using dot set message. Message will be, are you sure you want to delete this property? After setting the alert dialog message, we need to add a positive button that user will click to start deleting the property. Dot set positive button. As a first parameter, we need to pass the title of the button, that is yes. And as a second parameter, we need to add the callback of click listener. Similarly, we need to add another click listener. Dot set negative button. Title will be cancelled, and callback for the click listener is new dialog interface dot on click listener. In that case, we will just dismiss the dialog using dialog dot dismiss, and to show the material alert dialog, we need to call dot show. We will implement the logic to delete the property in a separate function. So let's create a function at the end of this class, private void. Name of the function will be delete property. After creating the function, make sure to call this function in the positive click listener of material alert dialog. Delete property. In start of this function, we will show a simple log in the log cat using log.d. First parameter is the tag and second parameter is the message we want to show. That is delete clicked. Okay, let's move to the delete property function and start implementing the logic to delete the property. Create an instance of the database reference. Name it as reference equal to Firebase database.get instance.get reference. In the path, pass properties. Now we need to pass the ID of the property using reference.child, pass the property ID and call the function dot remove value. Now we need to add a success listener using dot add on success listener new on success listener. This function will be called if property is successfully deleted. Similarly, We have added the on failure listener that will be called if there is any exception while deleting the property. Before proceeding further, we need to show a login logcat using log.d as a first parameter pass the tag and as a second parameter pass the message. For example, deleting and include the property ID. Similarly, create another log.d in onSuccess function. This time the message will be deleted property ID. Also show the message in toast using myutils.toast. First parameter is the context and second parameter is the message that will be deleted. When the property is successfully deleted, call the function finish. So this will finish this activity and move to previous activity. In on failure, we will show the exception in logcat using log.e as a third parameter pass the exception. Right after that, we will show the exception message in the toast using myutils.toast. First parameter is the context and second parameter is the message that will be failed to delete due to e.get message. Now the next step is to add the click listener on the call button that will be used to call the seller. Come at the end of on create function and add click listener on the call button. Binding dot call button dot set on click listener new view dot on click listener. After that, open the myutils class and create a function that will be used to call the seller. At the end of this class, we will create a function. It should be public. Return type will be void. Name of the function will be call intent. This will require two parameters. First parameter is the context and second parameter will be phone number, which will be of type string. Name it as phone number. Now inside this function, we will create an instance of the intent. Name it as intent equal to new intent. As a first parameter, we need to pass the type of the intent that will be intent dot action view. As a second parameter, we need to pass the phone number using URI dot pass TEL, which is the short for telephone. We also need to include the phone number using plus phone number. Okay, next we need to start the intent using context dot start activity. Pass the intent as parameter. To access the function of this class, we need to make sure two things. It should be public and static. Public static void call intent. Now open the property details activity.java class again and call this function using myutils.call intent. First parameter is the context that will be property details activity.this and second parameter is the phone number that is seller phone, which we have initialized in the function load property details. After that, we are going to add the click listener on the SMS button using binding.sms button dot set on click listener new view dot on click listener. So when user click this button, it will open the SMS with the seller. Let's create a function in my users class. It should be public, static, return type will be void, name of the function will be SMS intent. First parameter will be context, second parameter will be phone number, which will be of type string. The code for the SMS intent is similar to the call intent, so just copy the code for the call intent and paste it in the SMS intent. After pasting the code, make sure to change the prefix of the URI string. Instead of TEL, we need to pass SMS, and that's it. When we call this function, we need to pass the context and phone number. Open the property details activity.java class again and call this function inside the click listener of SMS button. My utils dot SMS intent as a first parameter pass the context and as a second parameter pass the seller phone. Okay, now we will add click listener on the map button. Binding dot map button dot set on click listener new view dot on click listener. We have already got the property latitude and property longitude, which we have declared in class level and initialized it in the low property details. So all we need to do is to create a function in myUtils class, same as we have done for call and SMS. So let's do it. Open the myUtils class, and at the end of that class, we will create a function. It should be public, static, return type will be void, name will be map intent, first parameter will be context, second parameter will be latitude, which will be of type double, third parameter will be longitude, which will also of type double. Now, inside that function, we will create an intent to launch the map with the latitude and longitude of the seller. Before doing that, we will prepare a URI. URI, name it as map intent URI equal to URI.parse. The prefix of the URI will be maps.google.com backslash maps question mark DADDR, which means destination address, equal to, now include the latitude plus comma plus longitude. This is the URI that we will set to the Google Map. So it will open the location of the latitude and longitude we have included in this URI. URI is now completed. Now we are going to create the intent. Name it as map intent equal to new intent. First parameter is of type intent type, that will be intent dot action view. Second parameter is of type URI. So we will pass the map intent URI that we have just created above. To bound it to just open the Google Map, we need to use map intent dot set package. Package of the Google Map is form.google.android.apps.maps. This way, it will open the location only in the Google Map. Before starting the intent, we need to add a check if the Google Map app is installed or not. Because if it is not installed, we can't launch that intent. If map intent dot resolve activity context dot get package manager not equal to null, this condition will be called if Google Map app is installed. In that case, we can start the activity using context.start activity, pass the map intent as parameter, create an else statement that will be called if Google Map is not installed. In that case, we will just show a message using toast. First parameter is the context, second parameter is the message we want to show, that is Google Map not installed. And that's it. Now all we need to do is to call this function in the click listener of the map button. For that, open the property details activity class again and call this function inside the click listener of map button. MyUtils dot map intent as the first parameter pass the context, that is property details activity dot is. Second parameter will be the latitude. Third parameter will be the longitude. Now we will add click listener on the toolbar edit button. Binding dot toolbar edit button dot set on click listener new view dot on click listener. By clicking this button, we will show a pop-up menu that will contain two options: edit and mark the property as so. So let's create a function to show the pop-up menu. Private return type will be void. Name of the function will be edit options. After creating the function, make sure to call this function inside the click listener or toolbar edit button. Edit options. After calling the function, we will move to the edit options function and create an instance of the pop-up menu. Name it as pop-up menu equal to new pop-up menu. This will require two parameters. First parameter is the context and the second parameter is the UI view around which we want to show this pop-up menu. That is finding dot toolbar edit button. Now we need to add items in the pop-up menu using pop-up menu dot get menu dot add. This will require four parameters. First parameter is the group ID, that will be menu dot none. Second parameter is the item ID. Third parameter is the order. Fourth parameter is the title of the menu item. Now we will check if the property status is available. Then we will add another menu item, mark as sold. Property status dot equals ignore case my utils dot add status available. Property status is a variable that we have defined in class level and initialized it in the function load property details. So if the property status is equal to available, then we will show the menu item using popup menu dot get menu dot add as a first parameter pass menu dot none. Item ID will be 1, order will be 1, title of the item will be mark as sold. After that if statement, we will show the pop-up menu using pop-up menu dot show. And next, we need to add click listener on the pop-up menu item using pop-up menu dot set on menu item click listener new pop-up menu dot on menu item click listener. This will implement a method with name on menu item click, which contains a parameter of type menu item. Now we will get the ID of the menu item that user has clicked. For that we will create a variable of type int, name it as item ID equal to item dot get item ID, which is the parameter of on menu item click. After that, we have shown that item ID in the logcat using log.d. First parameter is the tag and second parameter is the message, including the item ID. Now we need to create a condition to check which item is clicked. If item ID double equal to 0, this means user has clicked edit. If item ID double equal to 1, this means user has clicked the option mark as sold. For now, in case of edit, we will just show a simple message in logcat that edit option is clicked. We will implement the logic in the next part. In the condition mark as sold, we will mark the property as sold. For that, we will create a function private void. Name of the function will be show mark as sold dialog. After creating the function, make sure to call this function inside the condition item ID double equal to 1. And now come again in the function show mark as sold. Before marking the property as sold, we need to show a confirmation dialog to the user using material alert dialog builder. Name it as material alert dialog builder equal to new material alert dialog builder. Pass the context as parameter. After that, we have set the title to the dialog. Title will be mark as sold. We also need to set the message to the dialog, and the message will be, are you sure you want to mark this property as sold? And next, we need to add a button in this dialog using dot set positive button. Title of this button will be yes, and we need to add a callback of the click listener using new dialog interface dot on click listener. This will implement a method on click. Similarly, we need to add a negative button dot set negative button. Title will be cancelled. And at the end, we need to call the function dot show. Make sure to call this, otherwise the dialog will not show. If user passes the option cancel, we will dismiss the dialog using dialog.dismiss and also show a message in logcat using log.d message is cancelled. In case of user click the yes, we will show a message in logcat. Message will be mark as sold, and then we will proceed to the logic to mark the property as sold. So let's prepare the data that will be changed for the property using the hash map. Key will be of type string, value can be of any type, so we will use object. Name it as hash map equal to new hash map. Hash map dot put status. Make sure to use same spellings as in Firebase real-time database. As a value, we will pass my utils dot add status sold, which we have defined in myUtils class. Let's update it to Firebase. So create an instance of the database reference. Name it as reference equal to Firebase database.getInstance.get reference. As a path, pass properties. We also need to pass the ID of the property that we want to update. Reference.child, pass the property ID and call update children. Now we need to add success listener using dot add on success listener new on success listener. This function will be called if the property status is successfully updated. So let's show a success message to the logcat using log.t and also show it in the toast using myutils.toast. First parameter is the context and second parameter is the message we want to show. Similarly, we need to add failure listener using dot add on failure listener new on failure listener. This function will be called if there is any exception while updating the status of the property. In that case, we will show exception in logcat using log.e, pass the exception as third parameter. Also, we need to show the exception message to the user using toast. MyUtils.toast, first parameter is the context, second parameter is the message, that is, fail to mark as sort and include the exception message using e.getMessage. Okay, that's it. Now we need to fix some issues before starting testing the project. The issues are in the call intent and SMS intent. So to fix it, open the myutils class and add the colon after the tell and SMS. Instead of directly adding the phone number, we need to add using URI.encode, pass the phone number. Similarly, in the SMS intent, we will do URI.encode, pass the phone number. Okay, now our code is now completed. Now we will run the app in an emulator or in real device to start testing. While the app is running, copy the tag and paste it in the logcat. So it will show only those logs which are printed using this tag. Also, make sure to review the code carefully and properly. So what we have done today in this video is we have added the option to add or remove property from favorite, mark the property as sold, poll intent, SMS intent, and map intent. When the app runs successfully, click any property from the property list to open the details of that property. First of all, we will test the favorite button. If it is not added to favorite, it will add it to the favorite, or if it is already added to favorite, it should remove it from the favorite of the currently signed in user. Okay, that's working fine. Now we will click the call button. It will open the phone number of the seller in the dialer. Similarly, click the SMS button. It should open the SMS screen with the phone number of the seller. Now click the map button. It will do two things. First thing is it will set the location of the property to the map. Also, if your location is on, then it will set the destination from your current location to that location. Now, the last thing that is remaining to test is mark as sold. So, click the edit button. Click mark as sold. It will show confirmation dialog. Then you need to click the yes. It will mark the property as sold. So status of the property will be changed from the available to sold. I think I have opened the wrong property details. Close it and open the other. And yes, the status is changed to sold. The sold label is also showing. That's good. Now click the delete button. It will show a confirmation dialog. Click yes. This will delete the property and move back to previous screen, that is property list. And with that, testing is completed. We will continue from here in next part and continue implementing the remaining things.